Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Tears of the Kingdom has been released recently, so it's only fitting that we touch upon the Zelda franchise. We're going to be doing the top 10 best-selling Zelda games of all time. Now, this isn't just going to be a general run-about-the-mill top 10 list. What we're going to be doing is talking a little bit about the plot of each of the games, the gameplay, and how it differs from other entries in the franchise. So it's a little bit more detailed and hence the video length. Without further ado, if you like the content, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and things like that. Let's get into number 10. At number 10, we have The Adventure of Link, released January 14th, 1987, and sold a combined 4.38 million copies. Zelda 2, as it's affectionately known, The Adventure of Link, is an action role-playing game developed and published by Nintendo for the NES. It was released in Japan in 1987, and in North America and Europe later in 1988. The game is the second installment in the Legend of Zelda series. Unlike its predecessor, which featured a top-down perspective, Zelda 2 adopts a side-scrolling view for most of its gameplays, similar to traditional platformers that we used to see a lot at the time. However, it does still incorporate an overhead perspective that was found in the first game for the overworld exploration segments. The game follows the story of Link, the hero of Hyrule, who is on a quest to awaken Princess Zelda from a sleeping curse. To do so, he must find and reunite the Triforce pieces. The gameplay in Zelda 2 is divided into two distinct modes, the side-scrolling action sequences and the top-down exploration of the overworld. In the side-scrolling sequence mode, you have Link engaging in real-time combat with various enemies using his sword and shield. He can also acquire new combat techniques, some magic spells that will aid him in battle. As Link explores the vast world of Hyrule, he visits caves and palaces. In towns, he can interact with NPCs who provide hints, information, and occasionally sell him items. Caves often contain useful items that will assist him in his quest, while palaces serve as dungeon-like areas that house one of the game's many different bosses. These palaces are filled with traps, puzzles, and enemies that Link must overcome. Zelda 2 introduced a unique leveling system to the series. Link gains experience by defeating enemies, and as he levels up, his attributes such as attack power, health, and magic increase. The player can also find heart containers to permanently increase Link's maximum health. The game overall received mixed reviews upon its release, with praise for its innovative mechanics and depth, but criticism for its difficulty and departure from the formula of the first game. Nevertheless, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link remains a notable entry in the Legend of Zelda series, showcasing an experimental and distinct game style that sets it apart from other games in the franchise. Coming in at number 9, we have The Wind Waker, released on December 13th, 2002, selling a total of 4.43 million copies. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker is an action-adventure game developed and published for the GameCube console. It is the 10th installment in the series. The game was later remastered and re-released for the Wii U in 2013. The Wind Waker takes place in a vast and expansive oceanic world known as the Great Sea. It follows the story of Link as he sets out on a quest to rescue his sister and save the land of Hyrule from the clutches of the evil sorcerer Ganondorf. Unlike previous entries in the series, The Wind Waker features a cel-shaded art style, giving it a unique and visually distinct look. As Link embarks on his adventure, he explores numerous islands scattered across the Great Sea. He travels primarily by boat, the King of the Red Lions, which serves as his companion and guide throughout the game. Along the way, Link encounters various characters, both friendly and hostile, who aid or hinder his progress. The gameplay of The Wind Waker combines exploration, puzzle solving, and combat. Link navigates the ocean using his sail, charting courses to different islands and uncovering secrets hidden beneath the waves. On land, he explores dungeons and temples, solving puzzles and battling enemies to obtain valuable items and progress in his quest. One notable feature of the Wind Waker is the ability to control the wind using a magical instrument called the Wind Waker itself. This tool allows Link to change directions of the wind, manipulate objects, and even summon certain powers. It adds a unique dynamic to the gameplay and is essential for navigating the vast ocean and solving some of the puzzles. The Wind Waker received critical acclaim upon its release, with praise directed towards its art style, gameplay mechanics, and immersive world. The game's story and characters were also highly regarded, with many praising its emotional depth and memorable moments. Over time, it has become recognized as one of the greatest video games ever made and has garnered a dedicated fan base. Coming in at number 8, we have A Link to the Past, November 21st, 1991, with 4.61 million copies sold. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past is an action-adventure game developed and published for the SNES. It was released in 1991 in Japan and North America. The game is the third installment in the popular Legend of Zelda series and is widely regarded as one of the greatest video games of all time. You're gonna hear that quite a lot in this video. Set in Hyrule, A Link to the Past follows in the adventures of Link as he embarks on a quest to rescue Princess Zelda and defeat the evil sorcerer Ganon. The game combines exploration, puzzle solving, and combat elements to create a captivating gameplay experience. The game also features a top-down perspective, with players controlling Link as he navigates through various dungeons, towns, and overworld areas. Link must explore different regions, collect useful items, and battle enemies while uncovering the secrets of Hyrule. The game world is divided into two main dimensions, the light world and the dark world. Link must travel between these two realms to progress in the game and restore balance to Hyrule. Link's journey is driven by a compelling storyline and rich lore, which is gradually revealed throughout interactions with NPCs and exploration of ancient dungeons. Throughout the adventure, Link gains access to a variety of weapons, tools, and magical abilities, including the Master Sword, the Hook Shot, and various spells. One of the game's defining features is its intricate dungeon design. Each dungeon is filled with puzzles, traps, and enemies requiring the player to critically think and use their items strategically in order to progress. The game strikes a balance between challenging gameplay and rewarding exploration, offering a sense of accomplishment when overcoming obstacles and finding hidden secrets. A Link to the Past received critical acclaim upon its release and has since become a beloved classic. It is often praised for its engaging gameplay, immersive world, memorable music, and strong narrative. The game's success helped establish many of the conventions and tropes that have since become synonymous with the Legend of Zelda series. Due to its enduring popularity, A Link to the Past has been re-released on various platforms, including the Game Boy Advance, Virtual Console, Nintendo Switch Online. It has also inspired numerous sequels, spin-offs, adaptations, further cementing its status as a legendary entry in the Legend of Zelda series. Number 7, Phantom Hourglass. June 23rd, 2007. 4.76 million copies sold. That's right. Now, to put this in perspective, number 10, 9, 8, and 7 have all sold in the 4 million range. The Legend of Zelda: The Phantom Hourglass is an action-adventure game developed for the Nintendo DS handheld gaming console. It was released as a direct sequel to The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker and continues the adventures of Link. The game's storyline revolves around Link's quest to rescue his friend Tetra, the pirate captain who has been kidnapped by Bellum, a large squid-like entity. To rescue Tetra, Link must explore various islands in the world of the Ocean King, a vast sea filled with dangerous creatures and puzzles. One of the notable features of the Phantom Hourglass was its innovative use of the Nintendo DS touchscreen and stylus. Players use the stylus to control Link's movements, perform attacks, and solve puzzles. The game also incorporated the microphone functionality for specific actions, such as blowing into the microphone to put out fires or shouting to call certain characters. The central focus of the game is the Temple of the Ocean King, a massive dungeon that Link must navigate repetitively throughout the game. Time plays a crucial role in this temple as Link's life force is gradually depleted as he explores it. To extend his life, Link must collect hourglass-shaped items scattered throughout the game. In addition to the Temple of the Ocean King, players visit different islands and encounter various characters, including Linebeck, a treasure-hunting sailor who aids Link on his journey. The game features a mix of combat, puzzle solving, and exploration, with players using various weapons and tools to overcome obstacles and defeat enemies. As the game progresses, Link acquires new items and abilities, including the Phantom Hourglass, which allows him to navigate the Temple of the Ocean King without losing the life force. Force. Players can also upgrade their weapons and equipment by collecting treasure and exchanging it with specific characters. The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass received positive reviews from critics, praising its controls, engaging gameplay, and charming visuals. It was lauded for its creative use of the Nintendo DS hardware and ability to maintain the essence of the Zelda series while introducing new mechanics. Overall, The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass is an exciting and immersive adventure that combines traditional Zelda elements with innovative gameplay mechanics, offering an enjoyable experience for fans of the franchise and newcomers alike. Coming in at number 6, Ocarina of Time 3DS. June 16th, 2011, 6.02 million copies sold. We won't be going into too much detail on the 3DS version of this title, but what I will say is that Ocarina of Time 3D received critical acclaim for its gameplay, storytelling, immersive world. The remake features enhanced graphics, stereoscopic 3D effects, its improved controls and optimization for the 3DS console. The game also included the Master Quest mode, which offered a more challenging version of the game with rearranged dungeons and tougher enemies. Basically, the success of the 3D version, the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time, contributed to the enduring popularity of the Zelda franchise during a time where there wasn't too much Zelda content going on, and it also solidified the status of the Ocarina of Time as one of the games that essentially was the greatest game of all time, for Nintendo at least, of that era, and cemented its legacy going forward for both longtime fans of the series and newcomers to the series, showcasing the game's timeless appeal and captivating story and engaging gameplay. Coming in at number 5, we have The Legend of Zelda, February 21st, 1986, 6.51 million copies sold. It was first released in 1986 and has since become one of Nintendo's most iconic and enduring franchises. The original game, simply titled The Legend of Zelda, introduced players to the land of Hyrule and the protagonist, Link. Players assume the role of Link, a hero chosen by the goddess to rescue Princess Zelda and defeat the evil Ganon. The game is set in an open world, allowing players to freely explore dungeons, caves, and other locations. Throughout the game, players collect items such as swords, shields, and magical artifacts that aid them in their quest. The gameplay involved battling enemies, solving puzzles, and navigating through maze-like dungeons, each of the dungeons containing a unique boss that must be defeated in order to obtain a Triforce piece, which is necessary to progress the game. This is the game that started it all. What's worth noting is that this title sold 1 million copies on its first day of release in Japan. That is massive considering it was 1986. And it's fair to say that the Zelda hype train in Japan was at an all-time high before the first game was even out. Glad to see that the series has evolved into what it is now, while still staying true to its core charm. Notably, it also spawned the famous internet meme, "It's dangerous to go alone, take this." Coming in at number 4, Ocarina of Time, November 21st, 1998, with 7.6 million copies sold. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is a highly acclaimed action-adventure video game developed and published for the Nintendo 64 console. It was released in 1998 and is widely regarded as essentially the greatest video game of all time. The game follows the adventures of young Link, who is chosen by the Great Dooku Tree to embark on a quest to save the land of Hyrule from the evil sorcerer Ganondorf. Link must travel through time, navigate various dungeons, solve puzzles, and battle enemies in his quest to obtain the Triforce and awaken the 7 sages that aid him in his mission. Ocarina of Time introduced many groundbreaking features to the Zelda series and the action-adventure genre as a whole. It was one of the first games to incorporate fully 3-dimensional environments, allowing players to explore the vast and immersive world of Hyrule. The game introduced a targeting system that made combat more dynamic and engaging, and it also featured a unique musical instrument called the ocarina, which players could use to play melodies that had various effects in the game. The gameplay of Ocarina of Time involved players controlling Link from a third-person perspective and freely navigate around the world. Interacting with characters and objects, Link can wield a variety of weapons and tools such as the sword, bow, arrows, bombs, and hook shots, all to help him overcome some obstacles and defeat different enemies. One of the standout features of the game was its time-traveling based mechanic. Link obtained the ability to travel between two time periods, his childhood and adulthood. The game world changes significantly in each time period. Certain puzzles and quests can only be completed in one era or another. This time-traveling aspect added a layer of complexity and depth to the gameplay, requiring players to strategize and think carefully about when to manipulate time. Ocarina of Time received universal acclaim from critics and players alike, praised for its immersive world, innovative gameplay, memorable characters, and epic storyline. It has won numerous awards and is often cited as a landmark title in the history of video games. The game's success led to the creation of several sequels and spin-offs in the Legend of Zelda series, cementing itself as a beloved and influential game. Number 3. Twilight Princess. 8.7 million copies sold. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess came out in December 2006, and it is an action-adventure game developed and published for various gaming platforms. It came out in 2006 for the GameCube and Wii consoles. However, it was later re-released in 2016 for the Wii U. The game takes place in Hyrule, where Link finds himself drawn into a parallel dimension known as the Twilight Realm. The land is engulfed in darkness, and Link is transformed into a wolf. He encounters a mysterious creature named Midna, who aids him in his quest to save Hyrule from the evil usurper Zant and the dark entity known as Ganondorf. In Twilight Princess, the player controls Link both as a human and as a wolf, navigating various dungeons, villages, and expansive fields. Link wields a sword and a variety of other tools and weapons, bows, arrows, bombs, and boomerangs, which are crucial for, once again, overcoming obstacles, solving puzzles, and defeating enemies. The game incorporates the concept of the Twilight Realm, where Link can transform into a wolf. As a wolf, Link possesses heightened senses, allowing him to perceive hidden objects and enemies. Additionally, he can partner with Midna, who aids him in navigating the Twilight Realm and helps him traverse obstacles in the human world. The storyline of Twilight Princess revolves around the struggle between light and dark as Link embarks on the quest to collect mystical artifacts known as fused shadows and restore balance to Hyrule. The game received critical acclaim upon its release, praised for an immersive world, engaging gameplay mechanics, and a compelling narrative. It was particularly celebrated because of its dark and mature tone compared to previous entries in the series. Twilight Princess is often considered one of the standout titles in the long-running franchise, captivating players with its unique atmospheric visuals, memorable dungeons, and creative boss battles. And number 2, and rather surprisingly, Tears of the Kingdom, launched May 12th, 2023. 10 million units sold in 3 days. Since this is a really new game, it's fair to say that this video won't be containing any spoilers about the plot or the gameplay, just for those who have not been able to yet pick it up and play the title. What I will say is that it has been incredibly successful. There's a tweet from Nintendo where the following was said: The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has sold over 10 million copies worldwide in its first 3 days, becoming the fastest selling game in the history of the Legend of Zelda series, thanks to those who are already enjoying Link's latest adventure. Now, I will have a video later talking about the significance of this and whether or not this will dramatically impact the Zelda franchise going forward, but it's safe to say that Tears of the Kingdom has made Nintendo very happy. To put things in perspective, 10 million copies in 3 days is so many more copies than what the Twilight Princess sold over its entire lifespan over multiple consoles. Just to put that into greater perspective, Twilight Princess only sold 8.7 million copies, and Tears of the Kingdom was able to smash that in just 3 days. And finally, we have number 1. Have you guessed it? Probably. Breath of the Wild released March 3rd, 2017, with 29 million copies sold. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was released for the Nintendo Switch and Wii U consoles in March 2017. The game is the 19th installment in the long-running Legend of Zelda series and is set this time in a vast open world. In Breath of the Wild, Link awakens from a 100-year slumber to discover that Hyrule is in ruins. The main objective is to rescue Princess Zelda and defeat Calamity Ganon, an ancient evil that threatens the land. The game emphasizes exploration and allows players to freely navigate the expansive Hyrule scenery, which is filled with diverse environments including forests, mountains, rivers, and villages. One of the defining features of Breath of the Wild is its open-ended gameplay. Players are encouraged to explore the world at their own pace, discovering hidden secrets, solving puzzles, and engaging in combat with various enemies. The game introduces a physics engine that allows for creative problem solving, such as using objects and the environment to overcome obstacles. Link has various abilities and tools at his disposal, including a paraglider this time for gliding through the air, a shield for blocking and parrying attacks, and a wide range of weapons including swords, bows, and bombs. Additionally, Link can also now cook meals to restore health and gain temporary buffs. The game received widespread acclaim from critics and players alike for its expansive world, immersive gameplay, and attention to detail. It has won numerous awards, including Game of the Year at the Game Awards in 2017. Breath of the Wild is often praised for its non-linear gameplay and sense of discovery that it offers players. The success of Breath of the Wild has led to the release of 2 expansion packs, the Master Trials and the Champion's Ballad, which have added additional challenges, new story content, items, and stuff like that to the game. The game's popularity also obviously contributed to a direct sequel, Tears of the Kingdom. Now, it's not too often that Nintendo tends to do direct sequels for The Legend of Zelda, as the timeline, if anybody's ever looked at the timeline, you're going to know that that is a hot mess. But eventually I'll probably do a video on it and explore that. If there's some interest there, let me know. But that's been it for your top 10 list. Let me know your favorite Zelda title and why in the comment section below. Did it make the list? Did it not? Until next time, subscribe, leave a like, and have a great day.